Hey all, Bree from the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I have got a gift for you this holiday season. If you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, and I mean love the No Guilt Mom podcast, then tell us about it. Leave us a review, and you can be entered to win a No Guilt Mom gift card. All you have to do is leave a review, take a screenshot, and then simply go to noguiltmom.com/review to enter our giveaway for a free No Guilt Mom gift card, simply for telling us what you think about the podcast. It is amazing. But don't delay. Get right on this, as we're going to be giving away that No Guilt Mom gift card on December 21st. So get right on over and visit noguiltmom.com/review.
Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast. I am your host, Joanne Crone, joined by my almost twin today, Bree Tucker.
Well, hello, everybody. How are you? You know, I'm noticing we're doing a lot of focus on the outfits, but
I know it is a lot of focus on the outfits because that's like where my mind goes. Like that's actually my tool for like when I'm in a social situation, how I kind of get myself in a group or introduce myself to someone is I'll just be going by and I'll be like, hey, I like your necklace, or like I'll just give them a compliment about something that I see on them because that's my go-to.
That's a very good technique. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, mine is like when it's kind of that awkward silence, I just go, is this crazy weather or what? And how cliche is that?
But I think a lot of people talk about the weather. I mean, that's where every conversation goes when you don't know what to say.
Or when you live in a place that has extreme weather, kind of like the valley. But I want to come back to the outfit thing. It's funny you bring it up, and we both giggled about it because we are literally wearing the same top, just different colors.
We are. Yeah. Go Stitch Fix.
Yes, go Stitch Fix. And what's funny is you're wearing a black top and green pants, and I was wearing a black top and green pants. And I switched at the last minute to this outfit with black pants and my purple top. This is too much detail for you guys. I get that. But the funny thing is, I would say at least once a week we end up in the same outfit.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird brainwaves.
Yeah, it is so weird because we don't even talk to each other about it. We just show up and we're like, oh, look, we're matching again.
It's how it goes. How it goes. I'm doing like weird postures too when I'm talking to Bree. I'm stretching my bum today. I'm doing like the figure 4 stretch. My lower back hurts. And like when I went to get a massage recently, they're like, does your lower back hurt?
And you're like, yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. And the masseuse, he was like, you look like you're really tight in your glute area, and that can like take strain on your lower back, and so you just have to stretch it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's it. And when I'm stretching and when I'm doing that figure 4, oh my gosh, it hurts. Like there's some stretching that needs to happen right there, but it takes all the pressure off my lower back.
I hold a lot of stress in a lot of places, but my gluteus maximus is not a place I hold that stress.
I don't know why. It's weird. The body is just so weird.
The joys.
But we need to respect our bodies.
Oh, I like that.
Because today, so we're talking about 7 ways to get respect in your home. And guys, we made this super easy because respect is an acronym.
Of course.
7 letters in respect, 7 ways to get respect in your home. Because we hear from a lot of parents and a lot of our friends and peers actually about like kids disrespecting them and not respecting them, or like saying mean things. And all they want to do is teach their kids how to respect them.
Right. And it's funny because this is grew from the podcast episode where we talk about back talk. Mm-hmm. And it just kind of turned into that first discussion when we had the back talk episode. We talked about how you were like, well, is that really back talk? And then it was like, well, really it comes down to respect. And then it also comes down to what we were taught growing up, which is
you got to respect your elders and respect authority. And that's not so much the case anymore.
Right. And that whole thought process of you respect me because I'm your parent, and the relationship being completely ignored there.
Yeah. So respect is still a great thing. That's not what I mean when I say like the respect for elders. It's more that it doesn't work anymore to tell kids that they should respect adults just like unilaterally across the board.
Right. It's about that respect being a two-way street.
Yes. And that's a hard thing sometimes for us to wrap our heads around, because here we are as the adults, as the parents, we've had more life experience. Mm-hmm. We know more. We've been through it all. And so we feel like we deserve that respect because we've done all of this already. They should just respect our opinions and not question them.
Right. And I think that's where it really comes down to.
That's where it comes down to.
Just blindly follow me and listen. But wait, I don't want you to do that with everything else in life.
Yeah.
Don't blindly follow your friends off a bridge.
And that's where like the disconnect comes in, because we are telling kids to chart their own path and to make sure people treat them kindly and to stay with people who treat them kindly. Whereas if at home, it's not like a two-way respectful environment, which I mean, if it is this way in your house, there is no shame here at all. We are all growing as people, but kids see that disconnect and they're like, wait a minute, how do I show respect when my opinion isn't taken into consideration?
Right. And so today we are showing you what you can do and what you can expect from your kids as well as a result of that. I'm super excited. I'm super excited for this episode.
This will actually bring you a closer relationship with your kids as well. So it has an added benefit and it gets you actually more of what you want because when you do it in this way, there's less fighting with your kids. There's less nagging at them to do things. And there's just less like disharmony in general. And we're going to show you how. So get ready for this episode. Hey, if you are stressed out right now about the thought of having your kids go back to school and starting this whole homework routine again, when, many of us have not had practice with the homework routine for over a year, then you have got to join us in our free event live. It's called Homework Simplified. It happens all next week, and you can go sign up for it at www.noguiltmom.com/homework.
So if you love the No Guilt Mom podcast, like I know that you do, then you have to check out our very talented friend, Kara Harvey, who is the host of A Purpose-Driven Mom podcast.
So Kara is a productivity coach for moms and mompreneurs, and she helps overwhelmed moms develop systems and routines so that they can manage their time and take action on their goals.
As a mom of 3 and a former school teacher, she knows exactly how important it is to have these routines and systems in her home and wants to help you get there too.
So check out the link to Kara's show in our show notes. And now on with the No Guilt Mom podcast.
You want mom life to be easier. That's our goal too. Our mission is to raise more self-sufficient and independent kids, and we're going to have fun doing it. We're going to help you delegate and step back. Each episode will tackle strategies for positive discipline, making our kids more responsible and making our lives better in the process. Welcome to the No Guilt Mom podcast.
Okay, so let's get into this 7 ways to get respect in your home. And if you want to take notes, you can. No. Yes. You don't need to. Actually, if you go to my Instagram, it's just at No Guilt Mom. We've created a slide, like a little thing to help you remember each of these parts. So you can find it there on the Instagram as well. So you don't have to take notes.
Well, Bree's a visual person. So anytime you do visual stuff, I greatly appreciate it because that's the only way I can remember anything.
Yes, you just got to look. It's blue. It says how to teach your kids respect. It's right there. So you don't have to take notes. You can just listen and soak it all in. Right?
Yes.
It's like the best thing you can get to learning through osmosis. You remember like when you wanted to fall asleep on your biology textbook and you're like, I'm learning through osmosis.
I had a pin about that. I had a pin that had Garfield sleeping on a bunch of school books.
Yeah.
And I was always like, can't that work?
That. Yeah, I wish it would. So this is the second best thing to that. So we have named everything with the letters of respect, R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Find out what you mean to me, R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Okay.
So the first one for R, it's react appropriately. So when kids like give you that disrespect, when they talk back, when they like say, no, I'm not going to do that, or no, you don't know what you're talking about, or no, you're the worst mom ever.
Oh yeah, I've never heard that one before. I have to keep myself from saying that out loud. That goes through my head sometimes, like, oh, so we're doing this again. Oh, okay, great. I've seen this episode though. It's been on repeat a little bit.
So the first step is to react appropriately, and what we mean by that is you are going to want to say all those things,
but don't
do it.
It won't help.
It won't. It will just exacerbate the conflict and it will not work. We know from experience.
Yes. When you slip up and something comes out, you're just like, whoop. Like, have you ever seen that when your kid does that too? They'll say something and you realize that they didn't mean to and their eyes get huge.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like, oh no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think the same thing happens for us as parents. And we had an episode a few weeks back too where we talked about how teenagers, we need to realize that they are almost kind of like toddlers as well, but with better vocabulary.
Yeah.
Like when they're saying things to us and out of anger and this disrespectful communication, they normally don't mean it.
Yeah, it's usually out of frustration more than actual meaning. I mean, we as parents do this as well. Just this weekend, I was out shopping and I was totally frustrated and having to go store to store to store. And both of my kids were with me.
In 115 degrees.
Yeah, it was like, well, it was in the mall, so that was good.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. A little better.
My daughter's like, well, I'm frustrated because you told me we can go to Target for school supplies and now we're not going to have time. And all I wanted to do is my husband was checking out of a store downstairs and I just wanted to go look at the little kitties and the puppies next door. That's all I wanted to do.
I just want 2 minutes of kittens and puppies.
And when she said this completely reasonable thing to me, she said it very she's like, I am frustrated because of this. Like, it was great. It was wonderful. Yeah. Guess what I said? I'm like, well, let's just do everything that you want to do and not do anything I want to do.
Oh.
And that came out of my mouth.
Did you get big eyes back from her?
Yeah, it was not my best parenting moment whatsoever. But, that would be an example of not reacting appropriately. And you might do this from time to time a lot.
Yeah.
And it's okay if you do. What happened with me is I did have to cool down. I realized something. I said something horrible and I needed to shut my mouth for a little bit. And I did go and apologize to her after, but it happens.
I'm giggling because she is like gut wrenched about this. She's like retelling the story. She's like, ugh. And I'm thinking,
tired.
there's plenty of times where this stuff has happened. Like, we all have, just like we give our kids the benefit of the doubt that they're hungry, they're tired, they're angry, they're lonely, something else happened that made them react that way. We deserve that kind of kindness too.
Yes.
But if you make it a habit to not react immediately when something negative happens, and you make it a habit to be like, I'm going to take a little bit. I'm not going to react about this for like another 10 minutes.
And you could even say that to your kids. Be like, I am mad right now. I really need to cool down before we talk about this.
Right. It's a positive thing. It really, really is. And you're going to find that by modeling that, I started to say display, but by modeling that to your kids, they're going to be more likely to start doing that too. And then guess what?
Yeah.
If they are cooling off before they're talking, you're going to get a lot less of that. You're just stupid.
Yeah.
Responses from your kids.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. It is so hard to raise kids who know how to manage money. Bree, right now, my kids are all about earning money for presents. My daughter wants to get presents for all of her friends, and my son is doing a Secret Santa with his friends.
Oh, I hear you. And if you're looking to raise kids that are financially responsible, we have got a lifesaver recommendation for you that you need to check out. It is Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families that gives kids and teens an easy and fun way to gain financial literacy, all while giving parents peace of mind.
You can send instant money transfers, automate allowance, and even keep an eye on kids' spending with real-time notifications. Meanwhile, your kids can begin their journey towards financial autonomy by learning how to save, invest, and spend wisely.
So sign up for Greenlight today and get your first month free when you go to greenlight.com/NGM.
That's greenlight.com/NGM to try Greenlight for free. Greenlight.com/NGM.
Hey all, Bree here, and I wanted to share one of my favorite gifts to give during the holiday season, a Storyworth book. It is the most amazing gift ever. Storyworth is an online service that lets you create a special and unique gift of someone's story. I've given Storyworth books to both of my parents, and it has been their favorite gift, hands down. And did I mention it is so easy? Storyworth emailed my parents questions every week that I handpicked from their massive list of questions that they have. All my parents had to do was open their email and answer them. That easy. I asked my dad questions like, did you have any rules that you set for yourself as a parent, which you immediately broke? And he did. I even asked both of my parents, are you more like your mom or your dad? And they shared a lot of really amazing qualities that I didn't know about my grandparents at the time. Then at the end of the year, Storyworth compiles all of their answers, puts them into this gorgeous book that covers everything. My parents love showing us their books, and I personally love getting a chance to read them. With Storyworth, I am giving those I love a thoughtful and personal gift from the heart that preserves their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/NGM and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/NGM to save $10 on your first purchase.
So that's R, react appropriately. E
is explore the reason for the disrespect.
Yeah, so this one is a totally different way of thinking about disrespect because we were raised that we should always respect our elders. And kind of the implicit message there was our opinions really didn't matter. Like,
right.
How we felt really didn't matter.
Yeah,
we just had
because
to
we
show
were
respect.
the kids and we were dumb and we just had to listen.
Yeah. And that's how we were raised. And so, you really raise your kids the way you were raised unless you take a specific parenting course or listen to a podcast or something where you get the knowledge to kind of change that. So this is different. So instead of, you react appropriately, but then explore why they reacted that way.
Right. So this has a lot to do with like asking questions.
You ask questions. And one of our favorite questions that we teach in Calm and Happy Parenting, which is our course for parents, is I noticed that you talk to me in a really like kind of irritated tone. What's up?
Right.
And just starting with that. Now, it may not work right away because your kids need time to cool down as well.
Right. So trying to get them to drill down when they're super angry might not render the best results.
Yeah.
You might get some very superficial, harsh things that they're saying just to get you to leave them alone.
Yeah. Like to that question, I can imagine kids being like, because I'm mad, because you're stupid, because, yeah.
Yeah.
It would just continue and continue.
Things.
So that cool down time is really, really important. But once everyone's cooled down, you can be like, hey, I noticed this happen. What's up?
Yeah, I can hear that you're upset. Can you tell me why? What exactly is causing you to feel like this?
Mm-hmm.
How do you want us to proceed? Like asking those kinds of questions. It doesn't mean that you are taking a step back and letting go of your parenting role, or I don't want to say like authority, because
I think there is a lot of fear though that your authority is somehow diminished when you take this approach.
And we want to make sure that you know that. Yeah, we want to make sure you know you're not. What you're doing at this point is you're researching. You're trying to get all the details so that you can get an effective answer. Mm-hmm. And how many of you do that in so many other facets of your life, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like if an air conditioner breaks, you don't just be like, okay, air conditioner.
I'm going to call the plumber.
Yeah.
No, like you research,
you
right?
Get someone who knows like air conditioners and you have them go up and they diagnose the problem. So really what you're doing is you're diagnosing the problem.
Yes.
Because a lot of the things that we think are upsetting our kids, they're not the real reasons.
Right.
And it's very surprising when you start digging into that and finding out the real reasons.
Right, exactly. A lot of times it has probably nothing to do with what's going on at that moment.
No, and you'll be surprised. Like you'll be totally surprised. And this is how your relationship's going to improve, because what you thought needed fixing isn't what needs fixing. It's this other thing over here.
Exactly. So after you've explored the reason for the disrespect, what is S?
S is to stay calm and give them a chance to respond and listen.
I think that listen, like in our notes, by the way, for this episode, I wrote listen in all caps.
Yeah.
Because I know that's not always my strong suit.
It's hard.
I like to get to the solution. I don't like to waste time. Like, okay, let's move. I know what's wrong. Let's just move forward. Sometimes all they need is just a little bit of listening.
Yeah. Sometimes with emotions, I shouldn't say sometimes with emotions, like pretty much all emotions, they need to get everything out. They need to feel like they're completely understood before any change can take place or any problem can be solved.
Right. And I know that when I'm dealing with what I would term disrespect for my kids, so like maybe I said, we're going to be doing this, and one of my kids said, well, that's just stupid. You always come up with stupid plans and make us do stupid stuff. That could make me really upset.
I would be like, I need to go calm down over here for a bit.
Right. And I think that my natural reaction to that as a human being when someone is attacking my character is to come back at them. Maybe I give them rhetorical questions. Oh yeah, well what makes me so stupid? You're stupid all the time. And then you just start to unload on everything.
Yeah.
And I think back to like those times that we have those like, because we've all done it once or twice where we've had that argument, normally with a partner, like a romantic partner, where we bring up things from like 4 years ago. And remember that time that you did that? And like, we're always doing what you want. And you always say what I want to do is stupid. And I'm the parent and you just need to listen sometime.
Yeah.
The kid, like your kid can't even get a word in edgewise.
Do you ever want to do the whole thing like, oh yeah, was it so stupid that I took you to the mall? Was it so stupid that I bought you this? Was it like,
right.
I want to do that all the time. But
right. But that doesn't help, right? All that does is that's just bringing back that same attack that they just gave to you. And after they attack your character, do you want to listen? Heck no.
No. And if you're finding that like when they're telling you things about how they feel or what they're thinking, if you're having a hard time keeping it under control, like it just means that you're not cooled down yet and you deserve that time to cool down. So you can ask them to stop and say like, you know what, this is really hard for me still. I'm really angry about the situation. I need to cool down. I need to take a few minutes to myself.
And again, this comes back to by staying calm, giving them a chance to respond, answer those questions that you gave when you were exploring the reason, and actually listening to those answers, you're teaching them, wow, people will listen to me when I put together my thoughts and when I say what I'm thinking and when I say what's bothering me, which is so much more effective than yelling or hitting or screaming.
Yeah, it's so much more effective.
Yes.
It is. And it's funny because like learning this questioning strategies, when I went through learning it, and I can now see when other adults do the same thing to me and I can stop them and I can be like, hold on, I need to get everything out first.
That's really good. And you know, that's so much better than yelling at somebody.
Yeah. Or like stomping off or like saying something behind someone's back or like, you know, and it's good for you too. It's really good. I mean, being listened to is one of the best things in relationships ever because feeling heard is like so important.
Right. And I think in a lot of cases too, sometimes when we're able to unload it all and somebody gets us started on that thought process of why is this happening? Why am I feeling this way? Why am I so angry at this situation? You can work through it.
You work
and
through
then you're
it.
like, oh,
and then your problem
okay, yeah, I see why you wanted us to do that. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a powerful, powerful point. You may not even need to go to problem solving. Right? They may figure it out all on their own.
Which actually you just gave them the teaser. So like, what is P in respect?
P is problem solve together. Because you are going to listen to everything that they have to say. You're going to get all of your things out too in that. And so that you can problem solve together. And that's where you guys just think of solutions to whatever's bothering you.
Right. And this is a really simple, when you're problem solving together, this is probably the $1 million question that you would ask. Okay, how can we solve this together?
Yes. How can we solve this?
Right. That is letting your kid know they're not in charge. I'm not going to dictate what we're doing. We're going to come up with a solution that we're both going to agree to. And I know it sounds crazy, guys. I know that those few words sound crazy, but they really do make a huge impact.
And we're hitting that time of year where my brain gets so overloaded in December that I look for anything to make life easier. And I have to say, Brie, that Green Chef is one of those services.
Yes. Green Chef is there to take away the dreaded, oh my goodness, what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? You can eat clean all holiday long with over 80 weekly meal options each week, featuring things like quick and easy, protein-packed, calorie-smart, or my personal favorite, the keto options.
And you don't have to lose track of healthy eating habits during the holidays because every Green Chef customer gets a free session with one of their registered dietitians who can walk you through how to make clean eating work for you, which is very cool.
And I have to say that I have been loving their recipes lately. They put things together I have never thought of. This week, we're trying the lemon basil caper pork with sauteed cauliflower, bell peppers, almonds, and feta cheese, my favorite. Their recipes make it so easy to support my wellness goals without skipping on flavor.
For Green Chef's best deal of the year, get $250 off with code NGM250 at greenchef.com/NGM250. That's greenchef.com/NGM250. And don't forget to use that code NGM250 to get $250 off.
Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
My son is playing a game right now on his computer where he's a thief and the cops are after him. So I'm so excited about this new app, Give As We Grow, where instead of being the quote unquote bad guys, kids are practicing giving back.
That is so cool, Joanne. I really wish that there was something like this when my kids were younger that got them excited about giving back to others and helped them build a better understanding of what it really means to volunteer.
Give As We Grow is the first of its kind free educational mobile app for children ages 8 to 11 that teaches kids via fun, service-focused minigame quests to tap into their unique talents and interests to help others.
And did you know that studies show that there is a biological connection between generosity and happiness, and that volunteering improves people's physical and mental health? I mean, kids who volunteer typically do better in school and are less likely to engage in risky behaviors. And that is something that I think we all want for our kids.
Ready to spark a new movement in generosity? Find and download Give As We Grow for free in the App Store for Android and iOS. And for resources for the whole family, visit giveaswegrow.org. And you can't do this for every problem either, for respect. Like, you can't, like, if they refuse to get in the car or something, problem solving at that particular point in time is probably not going to work. Or like in instances of safety, like if they're doing something completely dangerous, don't expect you to problem solve there.
No.
It's
hi, honey.
Yeah.
I know you want to run out in the street and there's a big 18-wheeler coming, but how are we going to solve this together? We're not going to let you do that, I promise.
No. Problem solving is something for if something happens again and again. So, for example, if you and your kids are constantly getting in the same fight and they are talking to you in a disrespectful way, when everyone's calm, that's when to go into problem solving. Be like, okay, when you're so upset, how can we solve this problem? Or what can you do? Or what can I do so that we keep our emotions in check?
Right. Yeah. And so if you're able to follow those steps before about staying calm, drilling down and asking the questions, and giving your kid a chance to talk and to say their feelings and actually listening to what they're saying and using reflective listening where you're repeating back key things that they're saying. If you come to that question of, okay, how can we solve this together? If that's a brand new approach, you're going to find that for a lot of kids, that completely disarms them.
Yes.
And they're like, whoa.
I
don't know. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. What do you want the results to be? And maybe the answer you're going to hear from your kid is, so let's say a fight that you're having where there is disrespect is that you ask them to, maybe they have weekly chores in the house or you ask them to clean their room. And that's stupid. It's my space. I don't want to have to clean my room. I don't want to have to do my chores. Okay, you calm down, right? And then you drill, okay, so why don't you want to do the chores? Why don't you want to clean the room? And it's more than just why. Those aren't.
There's some questioning strategies that you can go into. But yeah, once you find out the reason behind it, then you could problem solve and see how both of you could be happy in this process.
And they're able to speak back to you and tell you why. And you might hear the reasoning being because right now I have a stomach ache and I feel like I need to throw up.
Oh, didn't realize that.
Okay.
Here's the bathroom.
Right. Let's have a conversation about that, or maybe it's something because I feel like you're always telling me to do stuff and this is my space and da-da-da. Okay, let's talk about this. How can we get to a solution? How can we work together on this? And maybe their answer is I shouldn't have to ever clean my room. I shouldn't ever have to do my chores. And that's when you get to say back to them, again, this is a conversation.
It's a conversation. They don't get everything that they want. It's coming to a mutual agreement.
That's a solution that's not going to work for the two of us. Yes. So let's come up with, and then you tell them why that's not going to work for you and moving forward.
Yep. Problem solving. We get a lot of pushback from parents when we talk to them about problem solving because that fear is real. That fear about having to let your kids do everything that they want to do in this process. That's very common. And we're here to say it's not the case with problem solving.
Yeah, no, problem solving is about your child working through coming up with a solution. It's not a one-sided solution where they get what they want.
No. So that brings us to E of respect, which is...
examine your mistakes.
So just like I said at the mall this weekend, I made a mistake. And it is so powerful when we make mistakes as parents. And I'll tell you why. You'll be like, what, Joanne? Because it gives you the opportunity to model how to apologize. And it's the best way to teach kids how to apologize is when you have to apologize yourself.
Yeah. And who has had their kids either apologize to you as their parent or to a sibling or somebody else, and this is the apology. I'm sorry. Right? You get that, I'm sorry. They're being forced to do it. This gives you the ability to be like, I'm genuinely sorry.
I'm sorry. I did this.
And telling them why.
I am so sorry I did this. This is what I was thinking when I did this. And I mean, my whole apology was I was really frustrated and I was tired and achy. And I didn't want to be there anymore. And I should have just, taken a second to calm down or told you I was frustrated instead of saying what I did. And I'm sorry.
And also and I do appreciate the way that you were able to talk to me, letting them know there's so many things. But I think that a huge factor of this is that we're all human.
We're all human.
We all make mistakes.
Yes.
Owning up to mistakes is a huge plus in people because you can't learn if you don't make mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
So teaching our children that mistakes aren't things to be ashamed of and aren't things to hide from and aren't things to
They don't make you a bad person.
Yeah.
You can
Cut out that shame.
Yeah, repair those mistakes and show them how. And
Yeah. If nothing's burnt down,
it's all good.
we could still work.
And
even if
things
it is
are
burnt down,
it's okay.
I was going to
It's
say
still workable.
There's more materials to build from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. So for C, we have choose respectful language and behavior. And this is hard because I know growing up, I constantly heard adults refer to kids as whiny and bossy and rude and like all of these names they attach to kids. And so now, like when we grew up, we are just repeating that same process. But it's really hard to come back from name calling.
And think about how that made you feel or
Yeah.
how it makes you feel when someone calls you a name. It doesn't make you feel good about yourself. It doesn't make you believe that you can do better. It makes you feel a lot of times that self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, well, fine. If I'm bossy, then I'm bossy. And
Yeah.
I don't have to do things nicely because no one's ever going to see me as a nice person.
Yeah.
So,
like if your kids go to someone's house and maybe they talk to you a little disrespectfully and you come back and you're like, you're so rude. Why do you have to be like this? It's probably not going to get you to the solution that you want it to get you to.
Right. And if you don't want your children using that language, then you don't use it with them either. That's a big thing about this whole choosing respectful language and choosing respectful behavior.
And this is the hard truth thing because we don't want to bring the shame, but we also don't want to be like, everything will be great and wonderful if we don't address this one thing that as adults we're known to do.
Right. Because we all lose our cool. But again, like we just said, we can all make mistakes. We all learn from them and we choose to do better next time.
And if you have been calling your kids these things, and like I know that you probably don't mean anything by them and that you were raised this way too, and you probably may not even be thinking about using them. It's totally okay to go apologize to your kids like right now. Be like, you know what? I am so sorry. I have been calling you bossy and I know that you're not bossy and I really want to try to stop using that word. So I am going to try to stop calling you bossy and I'm going to work on it. But can you do me a favor and can you tell me when I use it and to make sure that I apologize when I do?
Yeah, I feel like that's a huge thing when it comes to building that relationship with your kids is giving them the ability to let you know in a respectful way that you're doing something in a negative towards them. But
can you tell I have that knee-jerk reaction on bossy? Oh my gosh. I have such
So now we're back to the last letter, R-E-S-P-E-C. What is T?
Teach, don't punish.
Yes.
So this is really like teaching kids how to keep cool when they're like really mad and want to say something. Teaching how to express their feelings about something versus saying like, I can't believe you talked to me that way. You are grounded for a week.
Go to your room.
Go to your room.
That doesn't really give them the skills on how to not be disrespectful. All that does is teach them to get angry.
Yeah, to get angry.
Feel angry because maybe there was a legit reason, you know. Sometimes it makes them feel shame about their feelings. So we say this all the time. Using kind and firm discipline is going to help you teach your child. Discipline means to teach or to train, not to punish.
Yes. And I think that discipline really gets a bad rap. I don't know how it got that bad rap or where people thought it meant grounding and doing things the right way and how the right way got equated with whatever adults say is the right way. But it did.
No.
And it doesn't mean that at all. You can be really kind and firm, but still have a great relationship with your kids. And if some of these concepts, especially the problem solving one and the asking questions one that we talked about today, if you're like, okay, this sounds great in theory, but like, how do I do this? Like, we have a course for you. It's called Calm and Happy Parenting. It is not available right now, but you can go sign up for the wait list at www.noguiltmom.com/calm-happy-parenting. And we'll have a link for the show notes in case I screwed that up right there.
Yeah,
but
I was gonna say, that's a long one. I would be like, what? Yeah, we'll have a link there, guys.
We'll have a link for you in the show notes. We'll have a link for you in the show notes.
But so just to recap real quickly, here are 7 ways to get respect in your home. Going to go through the R-E-S-P-C-T. First one is R, react appropriately.
The second is explore the reason for disrespect.
Then you have S, stay calm, give them a chance to respond, and listen.
P is problem solve together.
E is examine your mistakes.
C is to choose respectful language and behavior.
And T is to teach, don't punish.
So we hope that you got some excellent strategies that you're going to use, let us know too. Send us an email, hello@noguiltmom.com, or like tag us on Instagram at noguiltmom. We love hearing from you. We would love to hear more from you. So if you're one of those people listening right now being like, oh, everyone will tag them and email them and they won't respond to it because they'll have it's not true, guys.
No, they don't.
It's not true. You mean so much to us. So just hearing from you would mean loads. And I can pretty much guarantee that either Bree and I will personally respond to it.
Right. We do strive to answer every single comment, every single email that comes through.
Yes.
So thank you guys all so much. Oh, I love
So
ya.
remember, the best mom's a happy mom. Take care of you, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks for stopping by. Are you looking for something to listen to with your whole family? Then check out 6 Minutes, produced and created by Gen Z Media. With over 200 twisty, cliffhanger-filled episodes, 6 Minutes tells the story of 11-year-old Holiday, who was pulled from the icy waters with no memory of who she is or where she came from.
3 years ago, Brinley Pasternak helped the Anders family uncover the truth about Holiday's past. Now she'll need them to help her find the truth about hers. In 6 Minutes Out of Time, the long-awaited sequel, Cyrus Anders is found unconscious near the mysterious Elixir Academy in Florida, and Brinley learns the school may have a shocking connection to her missing mother.
Dive in now and get the most downloaded family audio adventure in history. Follow 6 Minutes wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen early and ad-free with the GZM family subscription.